Welcome back to FTB Stoneblock 4. I'm Bumstar, and today is finally the day we dive into the Particle Accelerator. Last episode we automated all the crafting we needed, and now it's time to actually figure out how this crazy multi-block works. I've done a little bit of research just to get the basic idea of what I'm doing. And while looking into it, I realized something huge. We actually don't need to craft the magnetic field upgrades ourselves. Turns out we can straight up buy the tier 9 upgrades from one of the echo vendors. This is going to save us a ton of time and resources. So today we're going to build the accelerator, getting it powered up, and seeing if we can finally generate some of the resources we need for this Radiance quest. Let's jump in. So when I was looking into things, I found that there are actually tier 9 upgrades for Ortec through the JustDireThings mod, and you can't actually craft them, you have to buy them. So this one comes from the Wormrite for the efficiency add-on. The capacitor add-on also comes from the Wormrite, and then the speed add-on comes from the Echo of Radiance, but we can't really get that one yet. But we're going to grab the capacitor in the efficiency and go from there. Oh wait, we do have a speed tier 9 add-on here from the Echo of the Wormrite. So I think we're going to just go ahead and buy one of each of these. So 450 coins later, and we have it. And now I plan on setting all this up in our compact machine here. And I think this is big enough, but I think I'm going to try and just make it as small as possible to just try and get it to work without having to make a giant ring. If we need to make a giant ring, we will, but I want to see what I can do small wise. So I was watching another creator's video, Chosen Architect, because, well, I've learned a lot from him, and he's never steered me wrong. And I didn't watch the whole video because I didn't want to spoil this for myself, but he mentioned that he was going to make his particle accelerator in a 9x9 because of the accelerator magnetic field being a great block that allows this to happen, and I wanted to give this a shot. So we're going to set it up in the 9x9 to see if that works, and I've kind of outlaid just some basic concrete and some black concrete here to outline where we're going to put things. So the magnetic field is going to go in the center here. We're going to want to go ahead and make a ton of the particle accelerator linear motors. And I believe we're going to need 9 more of these, so we have 10 total. And then we want to make a bunch of guide rings too. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 9 more because we already have one of each of these. Then we're also going to want to make a advanced target designator. So I believe we're going to need that to link this magnetic field to our accelerator. But when you place these down, you can kind of see the outline here of which direction the tube's going to go. So when you place it, it's going to have that string right through here. So as soon as all of these are done crafting, which is going to take a little bit of time because we don't have add-ons in any of our other machines. And by let that craft, I mean I'm going to come down here with my time wand and speed this up. And now let's place all these down. So we're going to put 3 of the accelerators down on each block, except for this first one. And then with the guide ring, you can see it has the facing left and facing right in the middle. So when we place that down, it's going to be straight out, but we can right click it to turn it. So we're going to do that all around to make sure they're all connected. And now that we have that, we're also going to place guide rings right here. And then we're going to take our particle accelerators and we're going to place them right here. So that way they link up with the guide rings. And this is where we're going to put our item in and it'll push it through to start accelerating it. And now we have our magnetic coil here. And with this magnetic coil, we can put all of these upgrades on it. And it shows you we can put one on the left and right and one on the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and just try and place these all over. So we have a speed add-on here, then a capacitor on the side, and an efficiency on the side. And that should be enough to power that. I guess we'll find out. And then we need to put a gate on each of these, and as well as the accelerators. And the only thing that I'm worried about is if we're producing enough power right now, which we can fix easy enough by just creating more of our reactors and setting those up. We now have plenty of resources to do that, and we can really just multiply that by a ton. Okay, so we have everything here. I think this is going to be enough to work. So what we're going to go ahead and try and do then is we need to make plutonium dust. And to make plutonium dust, we're going to need uranite dust and fluxite. So let's give this a try. And I just want to see if this works. And now the one thing you need to be careful of is if this doesn't work correctly, it's going to shoot out the particle in a random direction, and it can absolutely kill you and destroy anything in its path. And that's why we're doing it in a compact machine, because, well, we don't want to destroy our base yet. So let's go ahead and put a uranium in here. And you can see it's starting to move. It's powering through, and we can see the speed here, and that didn't work. Let's see, how fast is it going? It exited at 293, and I don't think that's enough. Let's try it again here. I want to see if this shows anything. Oh, because I don't have this connected. So let's see, does that go back out again? Yeah, 293. Okay, so let's see if we can connect this here. So if we right click. Okay, so magnetic field is linked to accelerator control. So position changed. So now let's see if that does anything. Oh, okay, so 421. I want to put this in here, and I want to see, is this draining power? It is. Okay, so we need more power on this. So the tier 9 capacitor add-on should add a ton more. So I'm going to go ahead and just try. Is that enough? Okay, so now it's telling me the joules. So that was only 62. Oh, it's only showing that I have the speed add-on. Okay, so let me see here. If I put the capacitor add-on there. Okay, so I just had them on the wrong side. Interesting. All right, so let's try that again. If I put the capacitor here and the efficiency there, now they're lighting up. Let's look at the add-on. Okay, they're now all lit up. So let's let this charge up. That might have actually been our issue. And this holds 25 million FE. We are absolutely going to need to make more reactors to keep up with this for future crafts. All right, it is 100% charged. Let's try this again. This is working. Okay. What did that add at? 10,000 for MS. Okay. I think that's doable. So let's pop this in here. And let's see how the speed goes. We just have to put the fluxite in once it hits a certain speed. I messed up. And this, I think, is where if we had the sensor to sense the speed, that would definitely help us out. So we don't have to try and fit it in super quick. Oh no, it's not working. Okay. Because this doesn't have enough power in it. All right, so let's go fix our power issue real quick. We're going to remove all of these spirited and aerotic reactors that we have set up here and upgrade those to the nitro. So we're going to put a crafting card in all of these. We're going to set this to round robin like before, and we just put all of our resources in here. And then the only other thing we're going to need to do is make a bucket of dragon's breath. Or actually, if we look at our coolant, time fluid is actually better than dragon's breath. So let's go ahead and make some time fluid. Oh, we have 11 buckets. Perfect. So if we right click there, we now have a better time fluid. Turn that onto auto mode. And we are now generating 250k FE a tick from this single one, where this one is generating 50. So we're going to go ahead and just get all of these reactors crafted. And yeah, then go back to our particle accelerator. I will see you in a minute. All right, so we have all of our reactors upgraded to nitro. We have 10 reactors total, all getting resources pushed through. And yeah, it should be pretty solid. So let's head back to our compact machine. Now that we have power kind of sorted, let's go ahead and give this another try. Let's get this right here. And we got plutonium. So how much plutonium dust do we need for all of this? So to make the plutonium pellets, that is an assembler with 2. And to make that, we need 3. And to make our neutrium ingots, we need neutrium nuggets. And neutrium nuggets come from neutron piles. And those piles come from the neutron collector. After over 6 minutes, or 6 minutes. That's kind of insane how long that takes. Okay. So we turn the nutrient piles. Okay, how do we make a neutron star? Meat, temperature, tier 9, awakened feathers, heavy core, and nutrient block. So we need 9. We need a heavy core, which is going to be a reinforced deep slate, and that with 8,000 joules. How many? We're almost there. Okay, so we could do that. Okay, so we just need 2 right now. Let's go ahead and just make another one real quick. Alright, so we have our second plutonium dust. Let's go see if we can craft this and see what else we're going to need, because if not, I need to set up some way to automate that and possibly speed that up right now. So let's set up a pattern for it. All right, so we have our pellet, which means we have our small pellets, and luckily we get 9 of these from 1, and from 2 of our dust we get 3, so that's not too bad. So that quest is complete. So now we need to make the Neutron Collector, which is strange matter, which we already have. We already have Fortron, so we're good on that, and we just have to craft everything else. So let's set up the patterns for everything. So we need to set up the pattern for this, which means we need to set up the pattern for reactor walls, which is steel plates, Invar, and carbon plating blocks, or just nickel. Okay, yeah, we're going to use this pattern. All right, so let's set up the reactor pattern for this. And then we need to set up the pattern for our reactor neutron reflector. So is that, okay, that is only craftable through regular crafting. And then all of that should ready to go. So let's put that into our pattern provider for the world engine, and let's go ahead and craft this and see if it works. Now I need to put that in, and what else was I missing? Enduric compound, which I had that turned off. That is our ender dust to make that, and we can also do that very easily with our particle accelerator too, but we're not going to worry about it. And we can also make it with a pulverizer. So let's see, do we have everything to make a pulverizer? Just need 2 motors. All right, so let's try a pulverizer here. Go ahead and just place it right here. So now we have an endure compound being made. So now let's go ahead and try and make the collector again. And our collector is complete. So that is step 1. Can I speed this up with the time wand? I can. Oh, that is so much quicker. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and make another time wand here. I'm curious. I've wanted to test this out. If I do a JustDireThings clicker. Set this render area. We're going to have a click there. Now let's go to time fluid. Fill that up. Let's put a gate on here. And we want to target block and we want to right click it. Let's go ahead and try that. Does that work? Sneak. It does. Okay, so this is awesome. So the only downfall that we have here is that the time fluid in this is going to run out. So is there a way that we can put time fluid into this? And I think this will work enough for what we need it for. So I'm going to go ahead and take a logistical pipe and run that to the interface. So we can at least have these neutron piles pulled out. And I'm going to go give that somewhere to live as well. So that way we can start filling that up. So we don't have to worry about these neutron collectors, even though I just made a bunch. And you know what? We'll put them down just because we're going to have them. And then we will put the mechanical pipes. Oh, not the mechanical pipes, the other ones. The logistical pipes. And then we can also set this clicker to move over. Like I said, obviously this is going to power through this, but for now, I mean, look how many of these we have. So we should be able to make the neutronium chicken pretty easily, right? How many are we getting? We're gonna need 4 blocks. So it's gonna take us a little time, but we've got the ingots, and I mean, with this being sped up with the time wand and having 6 of them running at once, we are going to get plenty of these piles. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up a pattern for all of this. So that way, once we have enough, we can just click it and make everything we need. You know what I could do for now is just place that in here. And just let that keep going until we have enough. So now we have our advanced time on in here to keep that running. And let's see, Neutron. How many do we need? Just missing 2,000. We're not far off. But for now, we have it. Which means that we should be able to make, I don't know why this is saying we already have the neutron activator, but we definitely do not. But it gives you a start to work with, but now we need to activate it. The neutron activator is a multi-block machine that will be used for this purpose. This machine requires heat to simulate the power of the sun that is obviously missing in the stone world. It can convert nuclear waste into plutonium and lithium into tritium when powered with a single neutron pile. So we're going to need to make the activator, 24 carbon plating blocks, whisper glass, empowered void crystal, a reactor neutron reflector, and the reactor heat vent. So let's make all these. So let's see, what are we missing to make the activator? We need steel casing, HDPE sheets, and bronze plates. So those two are easy. HDPE sheets are going to be a bit more. We need the pellets, and from the pellets we get it from a pressurized reaction chamber with oxygen and liquid ethane in it to make substrate. And let me see, do we have substrate? We have so much substrate. We have all of this, right? Yeah, we have ethane over here, which these things, I mean, we can really just get rid of these, but this is how we're getting our substrate. So we've gone ahead and made 6 pressurized reaction chambers, and now we need to feed it ethane, oxygen, and substrate. So let's go ahead and turn off all of our configuration because we need to send it 2 liquids and 1 solid. And I think we're going to have to change it so it's not on this type of configuration. At least we're going to need to move these 3, I think, over 1. So let's do that. And now we're going to need an interface, and we're going to go ahead and put that interface right here. We're going to tell this to take ethane, oxygen, and substrate. Set these to the max, and we might need to use sorry, that's liquid ethane. Let's change this real quick. Put that to regular ethane. Our oxygen is running kind of low. We are dumping excess, so we actually want to idle it. Do we have oxygen? I mean, we obviously had some of it, but I want to go check my cells. Doesn't look like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a fluid cell, and we're going to partition it to hold ethane and oxygen in it. And I think I have functional storage drawers set up for this. Maybe not. Maybe I didn't have any way to hold this. Interesting. All right. So let's go ahead and partition this, this cell so it holds ethane and oxygen. Oh no, those are gases. Yeah, chemical cells. Okay, so right there's the oxygen, and right there's ethane. Okay, I already had that set up. So we'll leave that fluid cell in there just in case we need it later. So I'm going to go ahead and break these because we just don't need them anymore. So we just need to pull these out. But for some reason, it is not pulling our oxygen out, even though we have import-export buses. So let's go ahead and do an import bus. Let's do 3 of them. It's because of the configuration, right? Chemicals. You want to set up the other output on this side. Yep, there we go. All right, so now I should have oxygen being filled up. Perfect. Which means that should be filled up. And I think we're actually going to go ahead and break this. And we are going to use import-export buses. And now we want to set up our chemical to be input from here. We're going to want to set this up to ethane and oxygen in a round robin schedule. And then we're also going to want to put substrate in here. And then if we connect this, it should start filling up. Why is that not filling up with oxygen? Oh, it has to be liquid ethane. Okay. So let's go ahead and turn this off. And how do I get liquid ethane? A rotary condensator. I'm gonna make 6 of these. I don't think we're gonna need 6 of these. We might just need 2, but we'll go ahead and try. All right, so we're going to need to set up some more imports or exports, which means that we might actually run out of channels here. We will see. We're going to export our ethane into the rotary condensators. So let's see. Let's clear this all out. We're going to take our chemical from the back, and then we're going to send our fluid to the left. And then energy, we are going to take from the front. Oh, I guess from the back. So these should all have the same setup. Okay. So then we're going to send ethane in here. So that should start filling with ethane. Going to put a gate on the front here. Give it some power. and that's going to start converting that to liquid ethane. And then this is going to start taking liquid ethane. So let's clear this out. We're going to take the fluid from the left. We're going to take the chemical from the back and energy from the front. So we're going to send that to these. And then we're going to take, I forgot to set up the item configuration. We're also going to take the item from the back. And then we're going to send, what does this end up giving us? Just an item. So then we're going to send the item to the right with auto eject on. So let's go ahead and set all of this up. And fill these up with acceleration cards. And let's go ahead and power all of that. So we're going to take some at Mekanism cables. We're going to use the power cables from Mekanism. Break that gate. Just going to load this up. We're going to put the gate right here. Give that all power. And then we need to make sure to set this up for substrate and oxygen on a round robin. There we go. And then we're going to take an importer. So we're going to need 5 of these. We're going to set up importers right here and right here. Cables right here. So that's all connected, and we're going to make it so this takes the HDPE pellets. And like I said before, I don't think we're going to need 6 of these. You know what? To be honest, I don't think we're really going to need more than just these 3. So I'm going to go ahead and break apart these other ones because I don't think we're going to need it. And if we do, I already have the machines made, so we can always use them. Instead of using import buses to put those pellets into our system, we're going to go ahead and just put some enrichment chambers here. You know what? We're going to use 2 of them, so that way we have some pellets coming in. But we're going to set these up. And let's clear the configuration. We're going to pull from the left, and we are going to output to the back with energy being pulled from the front, and use our configuration tool to sync those. Then we'll give them some power. And we will put an import bus on the top here. So that way we're going to have some pellets coming in. Because I don't know if we're going to need pellets for anything, but it doesn't hurt. It looks like not really. HDPE rods, which can be used for a pigment mixer. And that's about it. But, you know, we'll do them anyway. And then we're going to use the importers on the back here. And before we start taking them, we're going to take our sheets and give those somewhere to live. And now the last step is going to be just making upgrades for all of these. You know what? Actually, we are going to just remove that. We're going to make another enrichment. There is no point on us not having this. And now we're going to muffle every single machine that is here. So now it's nice and quiet. And we're going to go ahead and give each one 8 upgrades total. And now if we look, we have sheets coming out in galore, so we're going to see tier upgrades here. I don't think any of these can be upgraded other than the enrichment chambers. Make sure to auto sort those to speed that up. And I think that's going to be fast enough to just run through all of this. And that should be fine. And if we need to speed this up more, we can always add more speed upgrades. It can hold up to 32. But that feels a bit overkill. 8 seems pretty good. You can do the same thing with the energy, but yeah, I mean, I think 8 is just fine for now. If we find we need more, we could just throw more energy upgrades into this and we will be good to go. But now that we have the HDPE sheets, we can go ahead and craft this neutron activator. All we have to do is just make some bronze plates first, which we can do with a osmium compressor. And we can make bronze with our infusion factory and our enrichment chamber. So we just need to make some patterns for these. So I'm going to do that real quick. And then we need to set up some plates, which we could automate by making another productive foundry and doing all of that. But we're just going to take our bronze, throw it in here, and have it just automatically turn to plates because we really don't need that many anyway. We actually just need 3. So we've got it. And now that we have that, we have everything else ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and make the pattern for that. Send it into our world engine and craft the neutron activator. And there we go. We have our neutron activator. So now we need to make 24 carbon plating blocks. We should be able to make those no problem. Let's go ahead and make a pattern for that. And I think I put that in the wrong slot. I did. Carbon plating blocks is just a regular pattern. There we go. All right, so we have our 24. Then we're going to need 8 whisper glass, which we already have because we've done cognitive before. That's done. We need a empowered void crystal, and that we can set up down here with this whole automation. So to make a empowered void crystal, we're going to need to set up the pattern here, which will go into this guy. And then we are going to need to set up the pattern for the regular void crystal block, which is just a block of coal dropped on the atomic reconstructor. So we will put that in here, and then we need to set this up so it picks up our void crystal. And I think that's all we had to add. Let's go ahead and make one of these, see if that works. It is waiting on that, so let me cancel this and see, does that... Oh, it's putting it in the wrong spot for some reason. Black dye, block of coal, flint, and stone. Oh, let me take this out. Yeah, this is just doing regular coal for some reason. So let's pop this all back into our system. Let's take that pattern, clear it, and do this pattern. And that should work now. Find out. There we go. All right, so we have that. And then we need 1 reactor neutron reflector, which is all stuff that we can craft. So we'll set up a pattern for that. All right, and our reactor neutron reflector is complete. And then lastly, we need the reactor heat vent. So we just need to make a motor and mix it with our carbon fiber strands. And we now have everything we need for that. So now I want to see how big this block is. It looks like it is a 3x3 block with the machine in front. So we're just gonna place that down right here. We click here and we come down here and click that. It's now going to show us the preview of this block. So yeah, let's start putting stuff down. I believe the empowered void crystal goes up here. So the vent goes right here. That goes right there. And then just our glass here. And I think that's complete. That's everything. And they're lighting up. So I think we're good to go. And then we're going to need heat. So let's make a resistive heater. Let's place that right here. And put a gate on it. And that will be able to heat it up, so then we can look at the different things here, and that's going to show us how much heat we need for it. But that's how we use our nuclear waste or lithium to make plutonium or tritium. So that's going to do it for this episode of Feed the Beast Stoneblock 4. We finally dove into the Particle Accelerator and got a basic setup up and running. And even started producing the Neutron Collectors, which we have 6 of them over here. And to speed it up, we paired it with the JustDireThings clicker and the time wand, which really helped push the neutron production way faster than normal, which will allow us to make the neutron chicken next episode, so we don't even need to use these machines. From there, we started looking ahead to the next major step. And to do that, we needed to jump deeper into Mekanism to make the HDPE sheets. So next episode, we will start making some nuclear waste and some lithium to be able to make the other things that we need from this multi-block, and then start moving on to Antimatter. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Later.